What's up, man? Hey, man, how's it going? Oh, there's Thanos. What's up, brother? Super excited to have you on, man. What's going on?
There you go. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. How's it going, brother?
All right. Oh, it's going good. It's going good. I need to get the word out on this.
Man, I'm telling you, we've been hustling as hard as it gets, really.
Uh-huh.
Man,
Let me
super
repost this
stoked.
picture.
Yeah. I even shot Hugo an invite. Let's see if he pops in here. That would be fun. I know you're having some fun there with Spark Decks.
At some point, I feel like I gotta, throw a little shade.
Hey, all good, man. Ain't no shame here. We test them both out. We have fun with both of them. So definitely love those rewards on Enosis. So
Yeah. I mean, we just wanted to, leverage the CLMM for what it's supposed to be for. But so
sweet,
yeah,
man.
it's been great to have Flare's backing with like putting the network towards that incentivization. Like I know people always ask the question, where does the yield come from? Well, when you've got a network token like that providing the yield is coming from everybody else holding the token. That's just the fact of it. It's inflation-based rewards, so they're giving out more of the tokens. So yes, that should put a little bit of sell pressure on it, but that's counterbalanced by the growth you see, the developer interest, bringing more people in. So yes, the yield is coming from everyone who's currently holding Flare, but it's also supporting everyone that's currently holding Flare because you can't grow it without giving some sort of incentive to do it. And that's how you get off the ground.
Yeah, I love that. Somebody's like 156 APY. It's like, yeah, that's right now. I mean, it's going to
Yeah,
come
yeah.
down. So the early bird gets the worm. You might get 156% on just a small portion of it, but I mean, it is what it is, and just understand at some point there's going to be a balancing act. What's up,
Yeah.
Whale?
Hey guys, I'm so tired. I think I pulled 15 videos in the last 3 hours.
Yeah, you pumped them out, man.
Oh my God, I'm so tired. But yeah, no, I want to say about the incentives. I mean, Kinetic, when it launched, like the first minute, it was 1200%, and now it's at 22%. And even
Yeah.
then, once they find like a balance, once institutions start coming in, like the APRs are going to be pretty small. Like, I think that even if we're not talking about triple digits APRs, like even a double digit APR in the near future is going to feel like fantastic.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah. I mean, the idea is that the more the risk gets reduced and the less that they need your liquidity, the lower the incentive should be relative. So like that's how that should work. Right now, still need to be building liquidity. Right now, still a little bit more risk. Once that risk goes down and the liquidity demands go down, then the yield for providing that liquidity should go down, because I like to think of incentives as like risk defrayment. So there's a certain amount of risk for doing anything, and we're helping to cover a portion of that risk, potentially all of that risk, with incentives. Like that's what Flare's doing, that's what we do, is we're providing those incentives to help you overcome the risk of doing the thing that we need you to do in order for the product to be successful.
I was thinking that maybe we can shift gears and talk about all the things that you can do with FXRP today. Because one of the things that I've seen is that you create a new market and it takes a long time to build. Exactly what you're talking about. And Flare has been doing it for over a year. So as of right now, we have a pretty robust market that you can do a lot of things. You can swap, you can lend, you can do LPs, and everything is working right now. Like it's not a new market. It's a new token in an existing market, which is very different.
Yeah. I mean, we could go down the list, right? Like you bring your FXRP on. Well, first off, I think one of the things that people kind of forgot about is that there are now collateral pools on the FXRP protocol where you can go put your Flare in as collateral and start earning a portion of the fees from the FXRP that's minted and redeemed. So starting there, there's already something to do at that level. Then you've got your FXRP. We've got LPs from SparkDex, from Enosis, from Blaze Swap. So you can go pair it with various things. We've got 4 different pools. You can take it over to Kinetic and you can put it in a lending pool so that people can then borrow it from you. You can take it over to Flamix and start adding it as collateral there so it can be used in perps. What else do we have right now?
Raindex, you can create programmable orders on Raindex. That one, it's more on the advanced side, but it's super powerful. I'm super excited to be able to trade my XRP without having to go to a centralized exchange. Like that's the part that I'm most excited about. What are your thoughts about having Flare priced in XRP? Because I noticed that last year we had ETH and Flare was to some degree following ETH. And now that we have a market direct against XRP, I'm very curious your thought on how that might shift the price behavior of Flare compared to XRP.
I don't know how big of a change it'll be right now because there already was a Flare XRP pair, at least on, was it Bitrue that had one? So that pairing has existed. However, there's now going to be the ability to add liquidity to that pairing versus just kind of the market maker keeping it up on a centralized exchange. So yeah, I mean, I think they will be tied a little bit tighter together. Like basically, the more liquidity that we get on chain, the more liquidity is in the market, the harder it's going to be for Flare's price to move. So it'll become more and more stable over time, the deeper the liquidity gets, right? Because it's going to require more of an action in order to move it. So that's why looking at it now, like we're still very early because if you look at the actual liquidity for Flare, it's relatively thin, especially versus market cap. So it's going to be very easy right now for Flare's price to move and Flare's price to move up and down. But as this continues to grow, as we get more and more primitives added, and as liquidity deepens, it's going to become harder and harder to actually move the price. And that's when it becomes more stable. So I'm excited to see that happen. I don't know where that's going to happen price-wise, but I'm really excited to see that happen because that's when Flare itself becomes really useful as a liquid asset itself, even more so than it is now.
Awesome. Well, hey, Hugo, Philion, man, thank you for joining us. Man, congratulations on the launch of FXRP. And I mean, just an incredible, I mean, TVL ad, like just incredible. So, any words you want to give us of just how awesome this has been?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I suppose I probably feel somewhat emotional about this, as this is kind of where we started, or at least this is what we put out in our first paper. And, this is where we wanted to end up, and we're there many years later. It's been a longer road than I expected, obviously. But, I'm really excited to see, honestly, I'm incredibly excited to see the demand for this. We've so far had, last I checked, and it may be higher now or it may be lower, but I suspect it's probably higher. $12 million of XRP moved onto Flare. That's an insane number for something that's been out less than 3.5 hours. It's in fact been out 3 hours, 27 minutes. And, I think that speaks to the excitement that the community have about what we're building, the ability to use your XRP in real programmable DeFi protocols. And this is really important to me. Like, I had a long conversation with someone this morning that was kind of like grilling me on the difference between some of the things that have launched in the XRP ecosystem and Flare. And for me, one of the absolutely, truly important things is that when you put your money into a protocol, you have the opportunity to determine what the outcomes can be beforehand. All of the things we're trying to build are effectively, you put your XRP in or your Flare in or whatever asset it is, but we're talking about XRP right now. And if you've done some research, you know what the risk is. And that really matters to me because a lot of the products in crypto, not just in XRP, but around the whole crypto space, are very much, you put your money in and someone else gets the decision making around that. And that means that on day one, you don't know what your risk is. And on day 5, you don't know what your risk is. And on day N also. And what I really want and what I want to take Flare to is that, right now we have this scenario where there's vaults and things and people put their money in and someone manages it, and effectively you don't get to say how that money gets managed. Where I really want to get to, and it's a way down the line, is where you have machine learning and really extensive good risk models that you put your money into a protocol and you say, I'm prepared to take up to this risk. Let's say you have a risk categorization, 1 through 5, 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest. I'm prepared to put my money in, and I'm prepared to take up to maximum level 3 risk. And a money manager can make trades on your behalf up to maximum level 3 risk Obviously, it's a little more complicated than that and all those kind of things, but that's where I really want to get to. Right now, we have a scenario where ultimately, with vaults and things, people can manage money on your behalf, but you don't really get a say as to what the risk level is. And today's launch of FXRP on Flare is really the first step towards being able to control your money and what you do with it. And Flare 2.0 is going to be all about allowing you to make investments with other people who manage the money on your behalf, but with controls over what they can do. So that's my little spiel today.
Well, awesome. And I want to say again, congratulations. It's been a long, hard journey for you for sure, and for the founders and co-founders, and just the slugfest. Again, I want to thank you because this has been just an amazing journey for us. Ace, well, you guys got something you want to jump in on?
Hang on. Let me give a shill out to the existing ecosystem, right? Obviously in my long diatribe of stuff I want to do in the future, I didn't say like what you can do right now. So what can you do right now? Well, you can lend your XRP on Kinetic for dollars collateralized, right? Like that's kind of cool. That's a huge use case. You can collateralize trading pools in DEXs, whether it's Enosis, SparkDex, or BlazeSwap. You can use your XRP as collateral to take perp DEX positions in Flamex, which is kind of mind-boggling, right? You can using your XRP as the base collateral, and of course, all of these applications will be incentivized for the time being using our Flare. So there's an inbuilt yield, and very very soon you'll be able to stake your XRP in Firelight. And the thing I love about Firelight is it's a staking protocol where you can put XRP into it and you know your risk beforehand. The staking pools are going to be very clearly defined as to, okay, I'm staking to this because this is my risk level, this is my return, and this is what I get. And this is what I love about working with really serious people that understand this space.
Well, I know I'm super excited about the CBDs that we got coming up too from Thanos and the Gnosis team. So that'll be an incredible opportunity as well for that FXRP. Hopefully, very very soon.
Coming up.
It'll be at least 4 weeks from now. We've got our second audit starting soon. We want some testing to be done. We want to give a little bit of time for FXRP to grow a little bit, for people to really get a handle on how they're doing that. And I'm taking a week off to go to the beach in October. And then when I get back, it's game on.
Nice. So for the first time ever, I get to say when in Gnosis.
Yep. And that's the only date I'm giving. It's not going to happen within the next 4 weeks. It'll be outside of that.
That's another product that I'm excited to see come live on Flare Mainnet. First off, I just want to say congratulations. I'm pretty sure that's been said a lot already. I'm joining kind of late here, but definitely want to congratulate Hugo and the rest of the team that made the magic happen. A lot of noise over the last couple of years, but you guys pushed through. And despite the people that say Flare networks never deliver, there is a entire portfolio that proves that incorrect. So congratulations again. Today is a very special day. We might as well make it a holiday. We'll talk about that a bit later, but a lot going on today and plenty more to come.
Yeah, we had to build out the data protocols. We had to make the price protocol faster. We had to build out the data protocol that allowed us to connect to XRP. And we had to build out the network and validators. And then we had to build out the DeFi ecosystem and the dollars. So, USDT Zero and other dollar-based assets in order to make this an ecosystem worth bringing your XRP to. And I think, frankly, we've done that.
So could you kind of tell us about like the caps and like what the thought process is on the caps, and how you guys plan to kind of work through that? Because again, the demand, like you said, was like this was the cap for the week, and we might have that in just within less than 24 hours of launch. So I'm curious how that's going to play out for you guys.
Yeah, so we're what are we at now? $13.8 million worth of XRP minted. We're at $4.69 million. 4.69 million units of XRP minted onto Flare. We have a 5 million unit XRP cap for this week. It's a brand new protocol. We've been testing it forever. We've run it through audits. We have caps because that's the responsible thing to do. I don't think there's going to be any issues. There could be, but we have caps because that's the responsible thing to do. Straightforwardly, if there was a $15 million loss right now, we could handle it. If there was a $500 million loss, we can't handle it. Fast forward 3 months, $500 million, billion dollar loss, we might be able to handle it. The most important thing to me is making sure that, Flare grows at the, in the right order, that we have the available resources to make sure that, if anything happens with the protocol, we can manage that, we can work around it, we can, make sure that everyone gets sorted out. That's the only thing that matters, right? Like, we have a lot of skin in the game here.
Yeah, I mean, hard-earned money is hard-earned money, and security should be paramount regardless of the amount. And for those that don't really put that much weight behind security, we see what can happen when security is not first and foremost. So the fact that Flare and the team have really driven that point home, I think adds all the more confidence, in my opinion, or at least should, to the protocol and allow it to grow out in a phased approach with these caps. Like you said, it's very responsible. Again, it's Web3, anything can happen. But when you have precautions in place and you're able to kind of mitigate some of those risks as much as possible, I think that's the smarter and more responsible thing to do.
Look, I've seen protocols launch in the XRP ecosystem and elsewhere that I think have behaved irresponsibly. I would like to think that we are behaving in the most responsible manner possible. We've been working with the XRP community. We've been a part of the XRP community for a very long time at this point. We're not going to do anything that we wouldn't be comfortable with.
Yeah. On the topic of those caps, I just wanted to note for everybody else out there that we're going to hit the cap. Yes, there are opportunities to use FXRP on chain right now and that will earn yield. It is likely to not be worth overpaying for FXRP on chain in order to access that yield if the cap gets hit. Be patient. It'll be a week and then you can get in there. Like, it's not going to be worth overpaying by 5-10% to trade for FXRP if it goes higher on cap hit just to get in to get some APY.
Yeah, 100%. Once we hit the cap on the DEXs on Flare, then the FXRP price could go higher than the XRP price. It is not sensible in that instance to buy FXRP. The reason why the price would go higher is because obviously we have a cap and demand is higher than supply. So, like any economic system, if demand is higher than supply, the price can go higher than the underlying. In reality, if you buy the FXRP way above the XRP price, you will lose money. So, don't buy FXRP far above the XRP price, because we will raise the cap next week and, the DEXs will adjust. And, basically until the cap is unlimited, there's a possibility that the demand for XRP on Flare is higher than the supply. And therefore, the price will not be one-to-one on the decentralized exchanges.
Well, if you do that, I know some DGen traders who are going to arbitrage that the moment the opportunity presents itself.
Absolutely. And so they should.
So don't do it. But if you're going to be foolish, some of us will absolutely take advantage of anybody who wants to be foolish. The opportunity is going to be there, and it's going to continue to grow, guys. Well, you had something, brother?
Yeah, as well. Again, congratulations to Hugo and the team. I know that you guys have been working around the clock to get this successful launch. I just checked. We have 4.7 million XRP minted on the Flare networks, which is amazing. And I also want to give a shout out to the content creators and the Flare network community, because I feel like following you guys on the journey and the steps that you have taken to make sure that FXRP and F assets are the most secure that you can possibly make it. We have learned a lot and we have understood a lot of the security risks and points of failure. And I think that the strong community is what's going to make us win altogether. So congratulations and looking forward for the future of Flare.
I just wanted to say I've obviously been here in this community and as one of the builders for a long time. I know a lot of people probably don't get the chance to actually interact with the Flare team much, but they really are a phenomenal team. We've interacted with teams on other chains as well, and like I've thoroughly enjoyed over the last almost 4 years, like working with the members of the Flare team that we've worked with on a pretty frequent basis for aligning priorities, for talking about builds, for talking about the future, things that are going on. And it really, really has been a really great experience. Again, I've worked with other teams from other networks, and the Flare network really is special with the way they approach things, which is why we're still here. We've kept building here, not because there aren't other options, but because we know that what's coming, what's starting right now, that we've been setting a foundation here on this network and with this community and with this team that really, really has potential to go a very long way. So I'm super excited about it. Thank you, Hugo. Thank you, Flare team. It really has been great, and it's going to continue to be great. There's a lot coming, and I think everybody who's been waiting so long is going to be really pleased with the way this all just keeps growing and growing and growing.
Thank you, man. I'm glad to hear the experience has been good. We don't have a massive team on that side, but we do try to make it as good for developers as possible. I know it's never the easiest, especially waiting for us to release products, which has been probably extremely tiresome from the developer side, also tiresome from the CEO side, but hey ho, that's the nature of the job. But we have built or at least I feel like we've built a really strong community. I feel like this period before launching FXRP has given a large amount of the community the ability to engage with smart contracts that they hadn't necessarily had before, and has given them a learning process that means that now they can put their XRP to work in a way that probably if we had launched XRP immediately after Flare launch, they would not be able to do so.
And correct me if I'm wrong, like a lot of this right now currently is driven by retail. So we don't have a whole lot of institutions churning up some of this.
Yeah. Honestly, yesterday I had a phone call yesterday. I was like, dude, what do we do if we don't hit the cap? Should we buy a whole bunch of XRP? We have a large amount of XRP, but should we buy more so that we hit the cap? And we didn't. And this is all retail driven, which is like really quite amazing, where everyone pisses around with these numbers in crypto, but we haven't, because like we didn't want to take the volatility on like putting like a large amount of our money in an asset. So we seeded the pools on the dexes with I think we have maybe $800,000 worth of XRP on the chain. But that's it.
Well, we were watching like something like 400 and something thousand minted, I think is what it was, right? Whale, somewhere around there. We were keeping a close eye.
Yeah. You guys were watching the contracts.
I have no idea what you're talking about. No idea what you're talking about. Like, it wouldn't be me. Like, no way.
Yeah. No, we don't like. This is all the community, which is amazing. It's not institutions right now. We just had a call today with a very large institution to go through due diligence. They're not going to be able to come on board until the cap's at least 100 million. So, that's their prerequisite. So this is community. When the institutions come in, wow.
So excited. So is it, anybody else got some other questions? Anybody would like to chat? I see John, Flare Community, man, you're there. You want to come up, ask any questions, brother? Man, everybody's quiet. Everybody's super excited, and now they're just spent.
Well, while we wait to see if John wants to come up here, I think that speaks volumes, the fact that this is mostly community driven and not institutions, right? Like, I think the community that Flare has garnered is really underestimated. We've been around for a while, And we've had people wait for a while. And, as soon as we saw the official tweet go live, I think it was like a mad dash to go ahead and mint. And people were sending me DMs like, how do I mint? How do I mint? So this is exciting. I think the fact that this is a community first, at least for right now, is amazing. We're showing our strength here. And then when institutions come in, I mean, that's a whole different wave. So shout out to the community.
Look, definitely shout out to the community, and also shout out to our validators and all the people in the community that educate the community on how to use Flare, how to use the DeFi protocols, how to do things in a sensible manner. I can't tell you when I started Flare and I was shopping Flare around with a little deck, how many VCs said to me, the XRP community, they'll never use DeFi. They'll never be able to get to grips with it. And we've proven them wrong. Frankly, we've proven them wrong. And that to me is like one of the greatest satisfactions, which is that all of these smug, and I'll say it, wankers were completely wrong.
Yeah, it's really true.
Go ahead, Thanos.
I was just saying, like, that's absolutely true. And I think one of the interesting things about the Flare community that I've noticed over the years, I bet if we were to take a poll of the Flare community, the average age of the Flare community member is significantly higher than most other chains, which is why we see so much less of the total degen behavior. It's why we don't have super successful meme coins. It's why everybody's not just out there gambling. I mean, these are like actual adults who are trying to learn how to do things that like they find financially freeing. That's most of what we're doing here is people who have funds that they would like to do something with because they want to be in control of their own finances and their own financial tools and what's going on with their money. Like that's what they're doing. They're not here gambling, trying to win big so they can buy cars. They want to be in control of what's going on with their money. And since their money is in XRP and other crypto assets, they don't really have that control. There's not much they can do with it unless it's on chain. And so they're looking for opportunities to do that. And so that's kind of the community that we've built here, which is why it's going to have legs in my mind, because people have settled in. They've learned how to do the stuff that they want to do that's available so far. They've learned how to do those things. The guys who always say, I would never risk my XRP to do that. I would never risk my XRP. Well, a lot of those people got to spend the last, 3-4 years learning how to do it, not with their XRP. They got to learn how to do it with their Songbird and with their Flare and with their other assets. And so they've learned how to do all those things, and they're just waiting for that opportunity to move their safe bag over into something that they now understand, that they've now learned how to do, that they've made money doing, that they've lost money doing, that they've really learned the ins and outs of, and to learn to where they feel comfortable with putting money. And that's what I'm excited to see, is like that whole thing opening up to where it's not just assets on Flare, all your assets from everywhere coming to do the things that you've been learning how to do. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
I gotta say though, man, I think the gambler thing like that. I don't know if that kind of you can wipe that off. I went on Flamix and I put up 88, turned into 3.
It's a question of percentages, right? And this is my take on crypto, and I've been thinking about this a lot, and I kind of want to write an opinion piece on why I got into crypto and why I'm still in crypto. But I genuinely believe that the world is going to change very rapidly over the next 10 years. And I genuinely believe that the people that hold crypto will end up having a very substantial power base in the world, because I think they'll be holding one of the last assets that is not controlled by governments. And I think one of the amazing things about XRP and about Flare is that it has captured a large audience that genuinely has the ability to rebuild society once it collapses. And one of the things that has been really nice about this experience with Flare has been the ability to educate those people how to use those assets in different ways. Of course, there's degens, but I do think Flare's mix of users is probably less degen, less nihilistic. So I think a lot of chains have a very large number of nihilistic users who essentially, for them, their life is basically make money through crypto, or their life doesn't continue in the way that, or it doesn't work out the way they would like it to be. I think it's like basically casino or bust for a lot of people on a lot of chains. Flare is different and XRP is different, and I'm very grateful for that. That a lot of people have, real things in their lives, and this is a pastime and a way to perhaps maximize their, their economic future. So that's one of the reasons that we have been even more careful than perhaps we could have been with what we're building, because for a lot of the people in our ecosystem, it's a very different scenario. They're not here just to gamble. They are here to maximize their economic utility. And that matters to me, and that matters to the team.
That's a good
That's
point. And speaking of which, I have a few meetings that I shouldn't be late to. So I am going to bow out. Again, Flare Team Hugo, congratulations. This is a long time coming. It's only getting started. I have a good feeling we're just at the starting line. So I will leave you in good hands and have a good, blessed rest of your day.
Thank you. I'm also going to head off. I need to speak to I need to spend some time with my wife before I head to Singapore for Token 2049.
awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Hugo, and have a wonderful week. And again, congratulations on this amazing product. Who's there before you kind of jump up with whatever you kind of want to say? I did want to put a shout out for us. Like Hugo had said, we're all about knowledge and education. So we do have a tracker that we built for the community if they want to try it, use it. So I do got to put a shout out for our nice DeFi Tracker Pro that we built as part of this process. Who's your man? Go ahead, brother.
Hey, FlareForward, watch the glitches, everyone. I couldn't contain my excitement earlier today when I learned about F Assets being launched, so I had to jump in and do a stream and just read out the announcement. What a fantastic day for the community. Well done, everyone who's been through this journey and observed how Flare have managed to flipping get to this milestone. I just want to keep this brief. It's a really important milestone. As someone who was mining Bitcoin on a laptop, to then learning about XRP and who's worked in traditional finance my entire professional career up until 2019, Flare for me is really the one project that I see as adapting to what the world is going to need for its future financial system. Entirely decentralized, permissionless, and open with the capabilities that TradFi has. Things like providing collateral, earning yield, borrowing, lending. All of those things are incredibly important, but the way that Flare does it is absolutely unique by enshrining those oracles within the protocol, by having, and I'm really looking forward to this one, like having the protocol managed wallets and the trusted execution environments. Guys, I'm just telling you, like the future, it looks so bright to me with what Flare's doing. Their strategy is unparalleled. When you compare it to the myriad of other flipping projects that I see, and I've looked at many, I just think this is a wonderful day. Let's savor the delivery from the team and the support from the community or everyone that was involved in beta testing on the Canary network. We took risks, we followed this project, and I'm just incredibly excited to see where it's going from here on. Thanks a lot, FlareForward. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, I think people don't understand the import of the protocol managed wallets and TEEs yet. And that's understandable because there hasn't been anybody build with them yet. You don't actually understand what they're going to do. But I've got a folder in a bunch of our company stuff that's just called Darren's Box of Ideas. And I've been writing protocol ideas in there for a couple of years now. We've built some of them we haven't built, some of them can't be built yet because the things that make them possible don't exist yet. Some of those things are things like protocol managed wallets and TEEs. I remember, I think it was about a year and a half ago, maybe two, that I told Hugo that one of the things that still sets Chainlink apart from what Flare was capable of was the ability to have a trusted set of validators or someone execute a transaction on chain for you. Because in order to have something happen automatically based on a trigger, you have to run a bot that's off chain that's going to execute something, and you have to safely store private keys and all of that. And that's not a great way to build a system that the public's going to use. And so that was one of the things that I kept waiting for, was like, if they can just find us a way to have things be able to be executed, to be able to set triggers and have things be executed, it opens up a whole world of possibilities for products that can be built. And the fact that they're doing that now, I mean, that it really is going to be amazing. It's going to take a while for those things to be built. So we're not talking about like right away. Like these are going to be complex things, but it really is going to take Flare to the next level because there's so much stuff you can do when you can set trigger parameters to automatically execute. There's a lot of stuff you can build. So I'm super excited about that.
Darren, really briefly, just want to say, if XRP is time, then Flare is patience. We, with this community, knows how to wait for the gains in the long run. But yeah, really well spoken. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I could hear you geeking out as you were talking about it. I could feel the energy coming off of you, man. Anybody else want to speak while we get ready to wind this guy down?
Yeah, hi, Robert Nash, Nash Holdings. Thanks for letting me come up as a speaker. Congratulations to everyone that's involved. I've been aware of Flare for about the last year and a half, and our company now is in the top 5% wallet holders of Flare and some Apsis. I'm still learning. I'm going to be 65 years old in November, talking about age. I'd love to become an ambassador with Flare to help, people in their 50s, 60s learn more and be more educated about crypto and what's happening, especially with Flare. Now, I was hoping Hugo was going to stay on, but that will be another day. If any of you could help me with this, a couple questions. Looking at the different tentacles of Flare, okay, I was doing a lot of OpenAI, ChatGPT search in the last 3-4 months. Possibilities and comparing Flare to blockchains like Ethereum. Is it possible, do you feel, with all of Hugo and the team's leadership and the different tentacles and directions, do you feel that actually Flare can become a space for when you want, like our company, if we want to create a blockchain, could we integrate that blockchain with Flare? We already have our own token, our crypto token. It's an ERC20. I want to transfer that over, maybe to integrate that with Flare in the future years. Also, if we wanted to create our own simple-based digital currency platform, like a Coinbase, but more simplified. Do you see that in the future we could integrate those things with Flare? Has it ever been talked about, those type of tentacles that I'm not aware of? And I'm hoping that this could be something in the next 5 years to where Flare could also create that space for people to say, yes, we're a trusted, secure wise with validation and all the different points and intelligent, acceleration that Flare is doing. Could anyone answer to that?
So from a technical level, there's nothing blocking any of what I think you're saying. As far as moving assets to Flare, that just comes down to having someone establish a bridge, whether that would be working with Stargate and Layer 0 to do it that way, working with someone to build your own bridge. If it's ERC20, it wouldn't need to be an F asset. You've got the FTC, which could absolutely read data from any blockchain with protocol managed wallets and TEEs. You could have transactions that start on Flare be executed on another chain, even conceivably yours. I don't know how long it would take them to get to the point where it's an open process or a simple process to add things like that to those systems. But there's no technological blocker as far as I understand. There's only kind of a time and effort blocker for setting up what it takes to do that for each individual chain. That may become grossly simplified in the future.
Very optimistic answer, Darren, so I appreciate that. Because, the possibilities are, infinite, really. And of course, with Flare, we're looking at the secure wise, with everything that they're doing with validation. And of course, today's news and this launch with FXRP. And I believe I've heard Hugo mention also there's the possibility that there could be an FBTC and the FDoge coming too. Is that correct?
Yeah, when they upgrade the protocol to FSX 2.0, they'll be able to add things like FBTC, FXLM, FDoge. I mean, really, there's no limit to what could be added. It's just what they do add and what they add in order. But yeah, we're waiting on the FSX 2.0, which requires the protocol managed wallets. So those things will kind of come at the same time. So yeah, so what we're seeing right now with XRP, we could see again with those tokens, especially if we prove out the efficacy of the system and of the ecosystem. Because I wouldn't expect if they were to launch FBTC right now, it would be nowhere close to the cap that we just hit on FXRP, because there's not as much hype and excitement from BTC holders to bring their assets to Flare. That's going to be our that's going to be our job as a community for the next 6 months to a year, is to be active, be ambassadors out there, really build this ecosystem up so that when we look to expand it beyond XRP holders who have been aware of Flare for a long time, that others are excited to have their asset added. Not that we're excited to have a new asset added, but that others become excited to have their asset added and their chain added. That should be our goal as users and community members and builders, is to create that excitement in other chains and other communities that they want to come be a part of what's going on here.
And if I could just end with saying, again, I appreciate being added as a speaker. If I could end and just saying that, and it's not always like, you see these negative people talking about Flare price not moving, etc., which they don't understand the whole concept when they talk like that. But really, I think as ambassadors, what I'd like to be able to do and what we could do as a community is to get people to focus that it's the acceleration, it's the successes. And if you look at 5 years ago where Ethereum price was, it's Flare has that same opportunity of the next 5 years, similar to where Ethereum was 5 years. Is that make sense to everybody? Or?
Oh yeah, 100%. By the way, I want to put out we are 100% minted, so that didn't take long. Crypto Siege, man, what do you got, my brother?
Hey, what's going on, crypto people? I want to say a couple of things. Number one, what an historical moment for both Flare Networks and the team there, and for the XRP community, the XRP holders. This is the opportunity that we have been waiting for a lifetime, for holders to be holders of this incredible asset XRP, to be valued in the same manner as Bitcoin and Ethereum and Solana. So this, for me, is a historical moment. And we get a chance now to participate in DeFi. We get a chance to now participate in a system that is working for us and not against us. So this is a really, really historical moment in my view. I'm so excited for the XRP holder above anything else. The asset holders of FLR and Songbird and Bitcoin and Ethereum and Doge and XLM above anything else. This is really, truly historical. Just understand, I joined here late, so I don't know what has all been said, but Flare has delivered on that promise. They delivered on the promise. They've been here from day one, from about really 2018, and they delivered on the promise, and we should be, I'm sure we are, tremendously grateful for that. And this is early days. This is just one deliverable. It's massive, but it's just the beginning of what's to come. And so I'm excited. Thank you to Hugo and the team for sticking with us, sticking with this community, sticking to the mission, can continue to keep the blinders on and delivering this product. And I know for sure I will be screaming from the rooftop, like I've always been, about being able to deliver something to the asset holders in the digital asset space in a system that's working for us in DeFi and not against us. Thanks, FlareForward, for putting the spaces together, bro.
100%, man. Appreciate it, Siege. I am man. What do you got, brother? I'm man seeking Flare. What do you got, man?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask about Firelight. When's that starting? Because I don't know what to do with my FXRP right now.
I mean, if I were you, I'd be lending it. I mean, lending's not too bad on that protocol, but it's coming in the next, I think they had a 2 weeks or something like that. But again, they
Lend it
haven't announced
where?
the actual. Connect would be a great spot to start. If you want to look through our FlareForward account on X, we've got several videos up on things you can do with it, such as lend it. You can't borrow against it right now. You can put it in LP pools on Enosis, Spark Dex. You can with it like I talked about earlier. You're doing there, tons of things. That's the beauty. Like when it launched, there are things you can do with it. There's plenty of stuff to do with it right now.
I was really hoping Firelight was going to be launched today. That's what I was hoping with the whole FXRP thing.
Yeah, they need some time to let FXRP scale too, because again, remember they're caps, and they don't want to get in with a staked XRP product when this is the highest risk period, right? Like if something's going to go wrong, that's like easy to have go wrong, it should go wrong now. So now's the time to not take the extra risks. But I was talking to them this morning, and yeah, I mean, they are watching what's happening and they are close. So I don't think it's going to be too long. But again, all in good time, it'll happen. And then we'll be adding them to the CDP after they launch and have some time to scale. So we're waiting on that too. But yeah, it will be here.
So I'm sure a lot of these big institutions and exchanges must be thinking to themselves, maybe like me, right? I mean, we're not as sophisticated as you guys building it, but I would have thought that because if FXRP is live today, then that means we can go and stake our FXRP. So I'm sure a lot of these big boys are saying to themselves, well, what do I do with this FXRP now? Lend it. I don't know what to
Well,
do with lending it.
I mean,
I was waiting for Firelight.
I will tell you that
there are no big boys yet.
yeah, the big boys, if there are big boys watching this, they're talking to Flare. So they're not just going to go in and do it on their own at this point. They're going to be talking to the Flare team. They're going to be talking to Centaura. They're going to be deciding when and how they deploy capital based on that collaboration. They're not going to be just waiting to jump in. Yeah.
So it's like a soft opening, basically, is what I'm getting.
Yeah, I mean, basically, like the protocol is now live. There's a cap on it to de-risk the launch. That cap is going to be raised every week at least, and we'll see how it goes. And then eventually the floodgates will open. But everybody's going to watch it for a little bit to make sure, because again, like this is not degen time. Like this is the launch of a very serious protocol, and so everyone's going to take it very seriously. And they're going to watch and they're going to monitor, and then they're going to decide to jump in. Because when you're dealing with very large amounts of capital, you're really not in a hurry. You're really looking at, okay, how can I make an extra, 1-2% on this over the next year versus what I would make doing the safe thing. So they're not worried about what the APYs show right now on DeFi products, because they understand if they come in with their gigantic bag, that APY is going way, way down. So they're not in a hurry, and we shouldn't be in a hurry. We should just be happy that this is actually happening. Like there's no more when. We know the caps are going to continue to be raised. We know Firelight's going to launch. We know other people are going to launch their products. It's all going to start rolling forward now.
Yeah.
I am, man. I got I see you again, man. Let's see what you got.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Well, it wasn't working before. Hey, listen, I want to appreciate everyone in the Flare community that has been there to teach and educate everybody. I also really think it's amazing that the Flare devs have been around helping people and taking on questions and bringing on new opportunities and things like that, and fielding opportunities and things like that. But what I really want to do too is want a big shout out to all the XRP influencers that have been mentioning it, Flare, bringing them onto the shows. Jungle Link has been doing a good job with that. I know that Crypto Airy, and there's many others. And I just want to make sure that they get noticed and recognized for spreading the word, because they already are a big part of the XRP community, and they deserve a huge shout out from the Flare community for sure. That's all I want to say, and thank you and congratulations for everybody.
Awesome. Thank you, man. Con, I see you joined us, man. What do you got for me, brother?
Man, I'm so happy for everybody. I mean, we've come a long way, man. There's a lot of people out there who have been waiting for years, who have been receiving the Flare drops for years, and finally coming up to this moment is just truly amazing, man. Thank you for everybody obviously in here pushing also and sending the message to all of the other people from the XRP community too. I mean, everybody did their part, and it's just amazing to see this unfolding. And guys, don't think this is just all it, like, oh, we have this big announcement and it's all over. Guys, if I look at the bigger picture here, a whole economy is going to be built on the Flare network. It's not just AV assets, guys. A whole insurance world is going to be on the Flare network. You have gaming who are going to be on the Flare network, because you have the oracles, you have smart contracts, you can build games on top of that. You can do so many things with Flare, guys, and this is just the beginning. Man, it's going to get crazy.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, it's all good, Dennis. I was just going to say, man, you killed a point there, which was, think about that. They gave themselves a runway for the Flare drops. They made it. The ecosystem is now going live before the Flare drops is completed. And I mean, think of how much they had to think that all through. Instead of dumping it all, people who were involved got to earn. And in January, it's over. Like the Flare drops are over. I mean, for anybody who thinks like, oh, there's going to be another sequence, no, that's done. It is done. They're not going to extend it. There'll be some reward Flare and stuff like that. But the whole, Flare drop process is done. So they nailed it. They made it within their window, and just kudos to them on that. So go ahead, Thanos.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, like for the last 4 years or so, Flare's been pouring a foundation, right? And then the rest of us have come along and built like a lobby on top of that. And the rest of what's going to happen from now on is the rest of this gigantic skyscraper being built, right? Like we've got a foundation and a lobby where you can enter the building. And now they're like putting the stairs in for the next floor and then the next floor and the next floor. And none of us know how tall the tower is going to be. But like, this is definitely not the tower. Like, this is the lobby to the tower. This is the entrance. You are welcome to come in and mill around here and shop at the shops while you wait for the next floor to be built. And it's just going to keep going.
You know, another thing I was thinking too is you've got all these probably hundreds of thousands of blockchains around the world. Let's look at it. All the stock exchanges, all the government municipalities, the central banking system, all the banks, all the major Fortune 1 million companies worldwide, right? They all have blockchains made, but they're not integrated yet. Where could they integrate? Somewhere like Flare.
Oh yeah, and they built an incredible base. Like I said, Flare has spent time to build a solid foundation for everything else. So again, I mean, it's just super exciting. Like I think CJ hit it. You know, momentous occasion, and just yeah, just super excited. Anybody else got anything else before I wrap up this space? I don't want to take anybody's
I
time.
just want to say real quick is that Flare made a very wise decision to incentivize people to use the network opposed to just doing careless airdrops and things like that, and then furthering their incentivization through the rFlare rewards. That's just genius.
I guess I should put out there too for anybody who's kind of getting new to DeFi and Flare. We do have a university with courses. We've got DeFi 101 basics that we have that anybody can go to our DeFi University Pro site and check out just basic understanding of DeFi. It's complete; those are completely free. And again, definitely give Whale and Ace a follow. They produce tons and tons of content. We also produce it on our FlareForward. So don't rush in. I think Darren said it best. Is, you know, you don't have to rush. This is just the base, guys. It's gonna be an incredible journey.
If I can ask one question, please, because the developers are here, if I may.
Sure.
Okay, so a couple of guys told me that I can go to flare.mainnet-network.com and I can stake my FXRP there. But when I connect my Bifrost wallet to it,
Yeah, no, stop. Okay, first off, if anyone on X ever sends you a link, do not go to that link.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, always refer to source. There are hundreds and thousands of scam accounts. The minute you knock one down, another one pops up. It's the same in Telegram. It's the same in Discord. If anyone ever DMs you, ignore that DM. No one from any team will ever DM you. No one from any team will ever really send you a link unless you've like specifically asked that person, in which case you should be able to tell that it's them. But usually...
So just to finalize it, you cannot stake your Flare, your FXRP right now.
Well, there are lots of things that you can do with your Flare and FXRP. That link that they sent you, if you connect your wallet and you approve a transaction, it's going to take all your money.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah.
So that's a fake website.
Flare. That is a fake website.
Okay.
Yeah. So ignore that. If you want to know what you can do, yeah, go to the official Flare page, go to the official Flare Discord. You can come into the Enosis Discord or Telegram and you can ask questions there. Again, ignore anyone that DMs you. But yeah, make sure you always go to official links and go to... Yeah, sorry, I'm getting a ton of pings at the same time.
On the same place you minted at the very bottom of the page, it shows you what are the active protocols for FXRP right now. It's on the minting page. The very places you can go to are at the very bottom of the minting page, and they've got that listed for you as on there. So, but yeah, no third parties. There is no staking for XRP right now. None of that exists at this point. It's being built, and the launch is soon.
Hey, listen. I've been in this space for 5 years, and I almost got tricked until I had to put a passphrase in there, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, it happens every time people get excited. People get excited about something, and they want to do it fast, and that's when your brain stops working because you're thinking about like doing the new fun thing, the new cool thing, the new opportunity, and you stop thinking about all the basics. It happens to people all the time. Right. And you just always got to remember those basics of like, wait, go to the official link. All of the information will always be on official sources. You should never need someone to give you a link. You can always find it from official sources.
And it happens to the best of us. Like I was doing some stuff with Cyclo Finance, and there was they rolled out a new product. It was a little buggy, and so I was reporting it to them, and then they'd messaged me, which again, I messaged them regularly. So for me, I was like, no big deal. Like I'm used to talking to these guys all the time. And I didn't pay attention that the history wasn't the same history of all of our conversations. And so, yeah, I mean, it can happen to the best of us when you let your guard down. So, I mean, that's the thing about crypto is you cannot let your guard down ever,
especially on
even in
X,
excitement. It's
you know,
just part
because
of it.
there's so many bad
Oh,
actors. And it's so positive and optimistic. It's so great to hear all you guys right away, like jump on that about the scammers and the bad actors. And one thing that helped me was on LinkedIn, I was able to connect with about 20 Flare, team members. And that's really been helpful because once you connect and they accept you, they're very positive about answering questions, on LinkedIn direct messages.
It seems to me that there's no better place than something like this live speaking to you guys, because you guys are obviously very sophisticated. But I also wanted to ask one last question is, because you guys are so sophisticated, the majority of us are not sophisticated. So we really don't know what to do with our Flare in Connect, in Gnosis. So I'm wondering if people I've always asked King Karen to do some more whiteboards on it. That'd be great, because he's a great teacher. So are there other places where they can kind of like lay it out for you? Like, hey, you've got this Flare. This is what you can do with it, X, Y, and Z, very simply, because this is like a foreign language to most people, not to you guys.
Again, our account, we have a university we built around decentralized finance in this whole process. So I could definitely tell you can follow our FlareForward account, go to our main website. You can find it at flareforward.com. You can find it at DeFiUniversityPro.com, on places to educate yourself and ways to go about it and understanding like what liquidity pools you should get in, right? There are, it's not like let's go with APYs, right? Everybody goes, 156 APY. And again, no shame on anything else, but I remember somebody was sharing with me that they were getting, 156, 176 APY. And I said, look at that, man, you're getting paid 95% of that in Bugo. Well, if Bugo drops off the ground, you got paid nothing. Like you lost your money having it in the pool, even though you earned a bunch of rewards that are actually meaningless.
Absolutely.
There are scopes to being I want to say diligent, but educated investor. And we have built a bunch of tools and coaching, and we've got videos on, like I said, Flare Forward has a YouTube channel, Ace has a YouTube channel, Crypto CJ has a YouTube channel, Flare Community has a great YouTube channel. So we got lots of people in here with fantastic educational pieces, not just us, that are built around that. So yes, there is a level of knowledge. Like you want to have a certain volume, you want to have like no less than $200,000 at me would be a minimum of liquidity pool, just because if let's say it's Bitcoin and one Bitcoin's $100,000, well, that's not a very good liquidity pool. So you got to understand, like there are so many nuances and risk out there. If you're going to, there's a simple way to do it, which is just simple lending and call it a day. Hey, I have my money, I lent it, I'm going to earn my little 2 to 5%, and I'm happy. If you're trying to go further, there are plenty of tools and people out there that can help you do that. And there's tons of them in this space.
And will you create a link on your X or your account to hear this recording over for people that missed the beginning?
It should be because I had it. I don't even know if I set to record actually, because this was a spin up space. So I'm not 100% sure if it will be or won't be. If I didn't check yes before, it won't be. So I'm not 100%. Oh, it says recording. So yeah, I should be able to get you guys leave this up for people.
That'll be on your X account?
Yeah, it'll be on the Flare Forward
Okay,
account.
super. Thank you.
I'll also add to all that our Discord, on the Enosis Discord, the people that are in there are usually very helpful if you have questions just about stuff. If you come asking questions that are curious, not accusatory, the response is almost always very positive. People like to share what they've learned over the last years. And so I believe I have a link in my profile that'll take you to our website. And at the bottom of that, there are social links. The Telegram is fine. The Discord is generally better for that kind of conversation because there are like different rooms and channels you can go into, but that's where a lot of the crypto conversation happens with users. I know that you come and you get the news on X, but if you're wanting conversation with other users and to learn from other people that are doing the same things, X is not the best place for it. You're going to need to get on Telegram, or you're going to need to get on Discord or something like that. Just again, make sure you're always using the actual official links. But yeah, if you come into our Discord and you start asking people questions like, hey, I'm new to this, like, what is there to do, or how do I do this, or whatever, there are going to be people that are going to help you with that. Just again, ignore DMs. If people try to DM you, don't let them take you to a DM conversation. Just do it all right there in the chat room. and there will be other people that will jump in and chime in. But in general, this community of users is very kind and helpful. They like to share what they've learned. So yeah, so don't be afraid of doing that.
So, Darren, there can be bad
Cool.
actors
Thanks.
anywhere. Discord, Telegram, you just have to be very careful of everybody, especially trying to send you links DM.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey guys, I could add one thing. There's Steve, the Flare specialist. He's been in the Flare community for quite some time, and he gives perfect demonstrations on how to use the various dApps and things like that. He has a great YouTube channel. So if
Who was that
anyone-
again?
Steve, the Flare specialist.
Steve, the Flare specialist.
The Flare specialist, correct.
Steve. Is he on YouTube?
Yeah, he's got tons of info on YouTube.
Very cool. Say, this is Galen. I've got a question. Are you a lot of you guys using Bifrost to hold and do what you need to do on for Flare and Scepter and all that?
I mean, so I would say for me, the majority of my funds are mixed behind a Trezor wallet connected to Rabby. Again, because again, it's about safety, and again, I don't need access to a bunch of that money. I do have funds on Bifrost, although Bifrost has gotten so big, I have found that there are some glitches from time to time in using Bifrost. So there are a variety of wallets, but in my opinion, Rabby's one of the better and faster ones to use. But definitely would suggest a like a Trezor wallet as a security blanket so that your funds aren't just active.
And then when you got a security wallet like that, a Trezor, do you get your rewards when it's on a Trezor like that? How does that accumulate because it's not associated with it?
Yeah, it's all same. It's all same to the wallet, and all goes to Flare. Like the Trezor is just another signing layer and a security layer. Like I could go in if somebody hacked my Rabby wallet and took my money, they still couldn't get anything from my Trezor wallet because you need to have the Trezor connected to a laptop, and you've got to approve it through the Trezor. So it's an extra step of security before any money can be sent out of the wallet.
And once you've logged in, then it updates itself and it puts those funds like a Flare drop. It'll just automatically show up.
Yeah, because you got your wallet address, and so when you go to Flare and you connect the wallet to the Flare website, it's going to pull the information from the Flare address.
Okay. Cool.
It's just another layer of security. It's not so that you're not directly linked and your wallets aren't directly accessible.
Well, one thing that I've done is I've just got a dead phone with no SIM card in it, and that's what I was using for my wallet.
Yeah, Whale did that for a very long time, and then we both upgraded to Trezors.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Yep. Anybody else got any other questions? So, Taki, my man, what's going on?
Okay, one last question, right? What do you guys think What do you guys think the price of Flare is going to be in the next 6 to 12 months?
I'll let somebody else take that. I never price predict, because again, that's just not.
Yeah,
my
whoever
thing.
likes
There's
to do
plenty of
it.
people out here love.
Yeah.
Whoever likes to do it, that's their thing.
Okay, because we're all in it for the money, right? Obviously, and of course,
I'm in it for the utility.
yeah, that too, of course.
I'll take this one.
I don't care if it's 3 cents or if it's 20 cents.
It's going to generally trend up.
My man.
I like that. That's good. But nobody has a specific number. I'm hoping for 25 cents. I'd be happy with that in the next 6 months.
Maybe I can.
I'll be happy at 10. Go ahead, Todd.
Yeah, and can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so it really depends on obviously also how Bitcoin moves. I mean, if we still have a extended bull market and that will last up until I would just say mid 2026, have assets live today and the caps are going to get raised and we are going to have institutions coming in that will obviously cause Flare supply shock if it comes to that being the collateral for XRP. And the price is also going up for XRP, so that means you need more collateral. So I'm going to have a bold prediction. I'll probably say 40 to 60, not dollars though, I mean 40 to 60 cents.
Ooh, that's double of mine, almost.
I'm in the mindset that Flare's never really had a legitimate bull run. So we could 40 to 60 cents, that's good. If I err on the side of being a little conservative, I would say that ballpark may be a little lower, but I wouldn't make any predictions right now because anything's possible.
Well, I can tell you this with some queries, many queries to OpenAI ChatGPT, it says that it can absolutely follow Ethereum's path like their first 5 years, as long as they keep succeeding and accelerating with new directions.
Thanos, I got a question for you, man. Have they put out anything on the collateral acquired? Like I've not gotten a great understanding of what that got changed to, or if obviously it did get changed, but I have no idea what the new collateral ratio is.
You mean the collateral requirements on the agent side?
Yeah.
They have I don't remember what the actual numbers came down to. I mean, so there's the core vault that's storing the actual amount of XRP. So it's always like completely backed by XRP. There's also the USDT zero backing, which has to be over 100%. Then there's the backing with Flare from the community pool. You're looking at like at least 150 to 200% at all times. I don't know what the actual requirements are, because honestly, when you start getting to numbers above like 150%, it really kind of stops mattering so much. Like it's a really high amount of collateral. Like that's a lot of collateral.
Gotcha. Awesome. Appreciate it, man. Anybody else got any questions, guys? All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this space up, guys. It's been incredible chatting with you. Super excited for the future of the Flare networks and what it's going to do with the XRP. Again, I'll put this recording on our X Space, guys. Have a wonderful week, and man, this is going to get exciting. And Thanos, let's cut that trip a little short, brother. I'm ready for that CBD. Just saying.
It's coming. It's
Peace.
coming.
The